The Apache helicopter spins in the air, its blades cutting through the wind like steel razors. The pilot squeezes the trigger. A Hellfire missile tears through the sky toward the target. But the target isn't an enemy tank. It's a 9-ton Tyrannosaurus Rex, its jaws open, roaring with a force that makes the helicopter itself tremble in the air. The missile hits. Smoke and fire explode against the dinosaur's flank. When the smoke clears, the T-Rex is still standing, and it's furious. But how did we get to this moment? What if a T-Rex had to face an Apache helicopter? What if the most lethal war machine in the modern sky was placed face to face with the most feared predator that ever walked the earth? This isn't just a battle. It's a confrontation between two eras, two forms of power, two titans that should never meet. The Tyrannosaurus Rex, 6 meters tall, 13 meters long, jaws with bite force exceeding 6 tons per square centimeter, serrated teeth the size of butcher knives, sharp vision capable of detecting movement from kilometers away, sensitive hearing that picks up vibrations in the ground, and something many people forget: intelligence. The T-Rex wasn't just brute force, it was a strategic hunter, patient, capable of ambushing prey larger than itself. Now imagine this predator in the middle of Manhattan. The narrow streets between skyscrapers, concrete cracking under its footsteps, cars crushed like aluminum cans. And then, the noise. The unmistakable sound of rotors cutting through air. The Apache helicopter emerges between buildings, low, fast, deadly. This machine isn't a toy. It's armed with an M230 1.18-inch cannon capable of firing 625 rounds per minute. It carries up to 16 Hellfire missiles, each designed to destroy armored tanks. Its targeting system uses infrared technology that can track targets in total darkness. Top speed of 182 mph, visual range over 5 miles. 2 pilots trained for combat, and armor that can withstand projectiles up to 0.91 inch. What if this machine was placed against the greatest terrestrial predator of all time? The T-Rex raises its head. Its eyes lock onto the helicopter. For a second, there's only silence. Then the Apache opens fire. The cannon roars. 1.18-inch projectiles tear through the air at over 1,190 mm/. They hit the T-Rex in the chest, neck, head. Each impact tears away chunks of flesh. Blood splatters on concrete. But here's the thing about dinosaurs of this size. They were built to take damage. The T-Rex's skin was up to 4 inches thick in some areas. Underneath, muscles dense as steel cables, bones thicker than tree trunks. And something the Apache pilots didn't expect. The T-Rex doesn't retreat. It advances. The dinosaur starts running. Its hind legs, each larger than a car, propel 9 tons of muscle and rage at nearly 25 mph. The ground trembles. Building windows explode from the vibration. The helicopter climbs, gains altitude, tries to create distance. The pilot fires the first Hellfire missile. The missile travels at over 870 mph. The impact is devastating. An explosion that could destroy a 40-ton tank hits the T-Rex full force. Black smoke engulfs the dinosaur. For 3 seconds, no one can see anything. Then an enormous head emerges from the smoke. Burns cover its left side, blood drips from open wounds. But the T-Rex is standing, and it learned something. It learned where the danger comes from. This is where biology surpasses technology. The Apache was designed to fight targets that follow patterns, tanks that move in straight lines, vehicles that stop to shoot. But the T-Rex? It's unpredictable. It changes direction without warning, uses buildings as cover, disappears into side streets, and when the helicopter descends to get a better firing line, the T-Rex leaps. 9,000 kilos of predator launch into the air. Its jaws open wide. For a fraction of a second, the pilot sees the teeth approaching. The helicopter banks sharply. The jaws close centimeters from the tail rotor, but the weight of the jump makes the T-Rex fall sideways. It hits the ground with enough force to crack concrete. The Apache pilot sees the opportunity. He positions the helicopter about 220 yards away, locks the targeting system, and fires 3 Hellfire missiles in sequence, one after another, each hitting a different point: chest, neck, head. The explosions are deafening. Fire and smoke cover an entire block. Fragments of concrete and metal fly in all directions. When the smoke finally clears, the T-Rex is on the ground, motionless. Serious wounds cover its body. Blood forms a pool around it. The Apache pilot speaks into the radio. Target neutralized. But something moves. First, it's just a tremor. Then the T-Rex's head lifts. Slowly. Its eyes open. And here's the brutal truth about apex predators. They don't give up. Their biology is optimized for one thing: surviving long enough to hunt again. The T-Rex stands. Its legs tremble, but support the weight. It's wounded, yes. It's bleeding, yes. But it's still functional. And now it's doing something the Apache pilot didn't predict. It's learning. The dinosaur no longer runs in a straight line. It moves between buildings, using them as shields. When the helicopter tries to circle around, the T-Rex has already changed position. It's a game of cat and mouse, but with participants weighing tons. The Apache fires more cannon rounds, but ammunition is running low. The pilots carried 200 rounds. They've already spent over 800. Only 3 Hellfire missiles remain. And fuel? Enough for 20 more minutes of flight. If you had to bet now, who do you think takes this? The $8 million helicopter with cutting-edge technology, or 9 tons of pure predatory instinct? Comment below. But the battle isn't over yet. Because the pilot has a plan. He takes the Apache up to 547 yards. High enough to be out of the T-Rex's reach but still within missile range. He activates the thermal targeting system, locks onto the 3 most vulnerable points: the eyes, throat, and the junction between neck and spine. He fires the last 3 missiles, simultaneously. The Hellfires cut through the air. The T-Rex looks up. For a second, its eyes catch the smoke trails. Then it does something extraordinary. It throws itself to the side. Not completely out of the trajectory, but enough so that only 2 missiles hit. The explosions tear away enormous chunks of flesh. The T-Rex roars, a sound that echoes between buildings like thunder. It falls again. This time, the wounds are critical. Blood gushes from ruptured arteries. Its breathing is heavy, irregular. The helicopter hovers in the air. No missiles. Cannon ammunition almost 0. But the target is down. The threat seems neutralized. Then the T-Rex does something no tank, no vehicle, no machine would ever do. It looks directly at the helicopter. And even wounded, even dying, its eyes show something that freezes the pilot's blood. Recognition. It memorized this machine. If it survives, it will know exactly how to hunt it. But it doesn't survive. After 30 seconds of heavy breathing, the great predator closes its eyes for the last time. 9 tons of ancient history surrender to modern technology. The Apache won. But it was a victory by minimal margin. 1 miscalculation, 1 less missile, 1 second of hesitation, and the result would be different. The machine proved its power, but the T-Rex proved something even greater. That even with all the technology in the world, nature demands respect. That brute force and instinct are still formidable adversaries. And that in a battle between eras, no side emerges unscathed. Technology won in the sky. But what happens when the battlefield shifts to the ground? What if instead of speed and missiles, it's about armor against armor? Raw defense against overwhelming firepower? If you think the T-Rex battle was intense, wait until you see what happens when a living fortress faces a steel monster. An Ankylosaurus, 4 tons of biological armor, against an M1 Abrams tank, 60 tons of military engineering. Keep watching, because this next battle will redefine everything you thought you knew about defense.